First time I arrived here, it was just didn't feel like Wisconsin at all. It was just like completely different world.
It was actually kind of a quiet place. It was very peaceful. It still is peaceful, but there's just a lot more going on around behind the scenes.
I mean, we're just incredibly busy. Like, main challenges here is just the growth and all the things we have going.
The personalities, the camaraderie, the stuff that we get to do here, I think is second to none.
Well, Sand Valley is a public resort located in Nakusa, Wisconsin, which is about roughly right dead center in the middle of the state. So we're equidistant kind of to Green Bay, Milwaukee, Chicago, Minneapolis. The resort kind of consists of 5 golf courses now. We have 3 courses that were built in 2015 to 2017. So Sand Valley was the first course, Core Crenshaw design. Mammoth Dunes was the second course, David Kidd design. And then obviously the Sandbox, our par 3 course, which was a Core Crenshaw design. We're kind of opened all along the same time. And now we've added 2 new courses to the portfolio of the resort. The Lido, which was built in 2020, 2021, which is the C.B. McDonald Lido course. And then we are currently building the Tom Doak Sedge Valley golf course to add to the resort side of the property. So the property is rapidly expanding and getting bigger every year. Right now, I think I looked on our ADP app for payroll, and we have 115 employees across all the golf courses. Joe Jensen, superintendent of Sand Valley, I oversee him. Andy Brownlow, Mammoth Dunes, Brandon Barron on the Sandbox, Sam Weber at Sedge Valley, and Jimmy Humpston at the Lido. So they kind of all directly report to me. Like, you have to take things day by day. Like, what do we have to accomplish just today? And then what do we need to accomplish in the next 2 weeks? And then what's sensitive for like the next 4 months? Like, that's kind of how I look at things. And on one hand, you're like so busy, you can't think about all the cool stuff that you're doing, but it's also very exciting knowing that there's always some new project on the horizon that you're dealing with. So it's really amazing what we're doing here at Sand Valley.
Well, I'm Joe Jensen, and I'm the golf course superintendent at Sand Valley Resort, and I'm on the Core Crenshaw course, the first one that they built.
Well, Sand Valley, the golf course was designed by Core and Crenshaw in 2015.
It's amazing. Bill and Ben have some pretty punishing greens, and they're definitely, you've got to hit good shots.
A lot of the greens are a little bit more kind of set up on ridges and high spots, so obviously the wind comes into play on a lot of the holes.
It's a really good, fair golf course. Beautiful views, great layout. I mean, the way they use the terrain out here is just incredible, and the sound when the ball hits the greens, there's nothing like it. So it's pretty incredible.
Could you introduce me to the Sand Valley Turf internship?
The Sand Valley Turf internship, you're going to come here and manage and learn about grass and golf courses. And again, the architecture here is second to none.
The Sand Valley internship is the opportunity just to learn firm and fast golf, the opportunity to grow fescue, which is a low input grass.
We're very minimalistic here. We don't do anything preventatively, really. We are minimal on chemicals, fertilizer.
Trying to grow grasses in a way that's the most environmentally sound way possible, and at the same time providing conditions that kind of root back to the origins of golf, firm, fast.
That's our goal, is firm, fast, and consistent every day.
I would say that's the best thing about our golf courses here, is you're just going to learn a different style of golf course management that isn't typical to the industry.
I'm Adam Waldusky, and I'm an intern here at the Sand Valley course on the Sand Valley Golf Resort.
Yeah, I'm Michael Mageles. This is my 4th season at Sand Valley on the Sand Valley course, and I am I'm not really sure what I do or what my job title is.
Playing Sand Valley is a true links golf experience.
The architecture of it's incredible, and you just step on the tee of every single hole, and you're like, how am I gonna attack this one? There's a lot of thinking that goes into it.
If you're into golf, it is a golfer's dream. There's so much to it, you know, the attention to detail. You know, you can get so creative in the different ways that you can play the holes, and you know, the more you play it and the more you look into it, the more you can get out of it. I'm from like Eau Claire area. I was born in like Chippewa Falls. Now I'm studying at UW Stout Menominee. I came here on a visit. Stout had a visit down here with their golf program, you know, and they wanted to hire, and I was under the impression that I was gonna get a job in more of the pro shop. Like, I signed up for golf operations, resort operations, and the agronomy team. The first person to reach out to me was the agronomy team, so I said, hell with it, you know, it sounds like a good time.
So I actually grew up in Wisconsin originally, and we raised animals, had a dairy farm, my mom did, and her project growing up was always the rabbits. So we show, breed, all sorts of stuff all over the country. And so I've also got my judge's license. You didn't think this is where this was going.
It's like Best in Show. It's like
Exactly. They actually just did a documentary called Best in Show on Nat Geo Wild over the winter that I was in. So just like showing dogs, but rabbits.
I don't know how I'm going to go back to talking about turf now. Okay, all right, let's get back on track.
Yes.
This is your 4th summer here. Why do you keep coming back? Like, this seems like a lot of summers to be here.
Yeah, so the managers, the people that run this place are the most friendliest people you'll meet. Before I came here, I was at the Los Angeles Country Club, and it was a great place to learn, but I mean, high end, as exclusive as it gets, like lots of expectations, high expectations. I came here kind of expecting the same kind of deal, just because, I mean, it's a beautiful resort here, and it's so laid back. It's awesome. It's a great work environment. We get a lot of stuff done, great people, and so that's the main reason.
What's Joe like as a boss?
Now or when I first started?
Joe is a character.
Uh-oh, that's in the What do you think, Palmy?
Stuck into the form and saw rust. And then went to their after-hours party at this little Greek restaurant in Hollywood. It was freaking crazy. Don't put that on camera that I snuck in. I don't want them to know that.
You don't want to
He's amazing. If you don't know Joe, and you do something that he doesn't like,
Okay, where's the intern?
he could be the scariest guy to some people.
He's very expressive. If he doesn't like what you're doing, he'll let you know.
But he's just a big teddy bear. He's awesome. Great guy to work for. If you've got any decent ideas that he thinks can be useful to the course, he'll let you loose on it.
He means the best, you know, for the course and for me.
He's pretty entertaining too.
His name was Armatrudo, and I was like, I'm not calling him that.
What do interns learn during their course of experience here? Well, I want to teach them everything that they want to learn, that they, you know, I know everyone wants to learn how to spray, everyone wants to be able to fertilize, everyone wants to manage the crew, and I want all that for them, and I think it's an individual basis on where they are with that stuff.
You're gonna do fairways before you do greens. In terms of mowing, I wasn't even trying to get on a greens mower right away, you know, it's like I don't want to mess it up, you know.
I like them to see how we manage. This year I want Adam to run the crew on a weekend, and I want Michael to run the crew on a weekend. Set up the tasks, what they're gonna do, how they're gonna do it, run the morning meeting and get everybody going and be responsible for that. I think it's very important.
I know what I'm doing, I'd say like 80–85% of the time, but there's always stuff to learn. But like I'd say like the most learning I'm doing right now is probably more on the management side of things. As I keep coming back, I kind of get a few more responsibilities every year, and so it's not necessarily the turf stuff that I'm really learning right now. It's kind of the administrative and management type of things, which is obviously vitally important if you want to continue to progress in the career. So,
you know, I don't want someone to come here and think they're just going to rake bunkers all summer. So, because I know that that's definitely a stigma.
You get to do something, you know, new almost every day. Every morning is something, you know, not all mornings are the same. A lot of it's satisfying in what you're doing. Either it's the oddly satisfying or just the pride that you get from it, and you can get kind of creative out there. You know, you get a pin sheet and then you get a spot based off like paces on the green that'll tell you where you need to go. But over time, you know, like what parts of the green are pinnable, and then you bring some golf balls out there and you kind of throw it around the ridges and you kind of see where it funnels down into, so you can create a fun experience for golfers. And I always thought that was really cool too. Like when I first cut cups and then I was watching people play the holes, I was like, you know, I put that there, like that's pretty cool, you know.
But there is monotony in golf course maintenance. We have to mow greens every day. We have to do course setup every day. We have to rake bunkers. We got to fill divots. That stuff's all got to get done. And you just have to be part of the team and do it when you're asked to do it.
the grass never wants to take a day off, doesn't care if it's a weekend, doesn't care if you've got plans. The turf is going to keep growing, and there's going to be new issues or different experiences every single morning when you wake up. And so just kind of staying in that grind. And I guess every year that I come back, it just reassures that this is what I enjoy doing. I always have a great time coming into work every day and tackling what Mother Nature gives us each day.
So Mammoth Dunes was designed by Dave McClay Kidd. Construction took place in 2016 and was opened in 2018. I would say if Sand Valley's big, Mammoth Dunes is bigger. So really large, huge fairways, big expansives of large greens.
So I'm Andy Brownlow. I work at Sand Valley Golf Resort. I'm the superintendent of Mammoth Dunes. It's a very large golf course, very wide, very playable, very friendly, very fun. You can get into some trouble, but you're probably not going to lose a whole lot of balls. The contours feed balls away from trouble, so a lot of people do shoot their lowest rounds ever out here, which is always fun to see.
I'm Jonah Natz, and I'm an intern here at Sand Valley working on Mammoth Dunes. Mason Natz, 19 years old. I work on Mammoth Dunes.
What's it like working with your brother?
It's good. We kind of get competitive with it because he's, I'm going to Augusta or whatever. I was fortunate enough to receive an offer for an internship at Augusta National, so I'll be going there in January and doing the workup for the Masters and then doing the renovations that come with that. So I'm super excited for that, and it's kind of an honor to be able to be a part of their operation.
Mason's been working here coming up on 2 months. He's a very quiet kid, but respectful. So he just takes it all in. He's a very good listener. So Jonah, Mason's older brother, interned for us last year. We'll be looking to get him assistant level type exposure this summer because he's close. He's right there and ready. They seem to get along very well. It seems like Mason looks up to Jonah.
Where are you from?
Sussex, Wisconsin. It's about 20 minutes west of Milwaukee, suburb of Milwaukee. Not a huge town, like 15,000 people.
Kind of me and my brother started chipping around in the backyard with my dad, and then we kind of brought it to the golf course and really just kind of fell in love with the game.
I've played since I was a kid, and I never really knew about that you could have a career growing grass, like a golf course, maintaining it.
I started as a cart kid, pro shop guy at a local course, and it was okay. And then a buddy offered me a job at a country club kind of nearby for grounds crew, and so I tried it out, and I just was kind of hooked. I loved it. After high school, I wasn't a huge fan of school, honestly, and I thought, the reservist route in the Navy kind of sounded like a good opportunity to kind of get out and just do something different. I did boot camp in Great Lakes, Illinois, and then I was out in Virginia for about 6 months for additional training after that.
Yeah, I worked at a golf course doing carts, cart boy, which didn't like it very much. And then I worked at Menards, which didn't like that either. I mean, I guess I kind of got him into the turf industry. I worked at that country club, the Bristlecone Pines, for one season, and then he needed a job. I was like, oh, why don't you come work here? And then I ended up leaving. He worked there last year, and I was like, you can come to Sand Valley. So that was kind of cool to have him kind of follow. It just sounded like an awesome place to work, and I came up last summer and golfed, and it was just unbelievable here. Working outside, free golf, can't beat it.
Interns could be a little intimidated by the size of everything. The shop is big, the fleet is big, the staff sizes are large. It sits on a large property.
It's a crazy course, just huge. Lives up to its name. It took me a couple of weeks to find my way around the course, all the trails and stuff. I got turned around and stuck in the sand a couple times. It's pretty easy to do that.
I could understand how it would be a little hard to find a sense of home while you're at the workplace.
I mean, I've never seen like a cold storage barn like that with that much equipment in it, so it was kind of overwhelming to know if you got to take the right equipment or not, if you're stealing from somebody, or you never really know. But everybody here is very welcoming, very genuine, they took care of me very well. So
I think that within an hour of being in our maintenance facility and being around our staff, that they would feel comfortable and welcomed and kind of feel that sense of home and familiarity.
I've learned a lot since I've gotten here, like a lot of stuff that I just never knew about it. Like the science part of it, like turf health and diseases and all that, like just because I've never worked at a course coming out of winter and just seeing the process of starting everything up. Talking with Andy is just mind-blowing, the stuff that he knows. Like I'll just run into him on the golf course and I'll just learn something new every time. Like I'll ask him a question about some turf grass disease and he'll just explain to me just exactly what it is, and it's just wild.
I like problem solving. I find pride in being efficient with our operation, but I really enjoy when we do have a problem and then coming up with the best solution for that problem.
he's willing to sit us down and kind of talk us through certain things and let us try certain things and kind of throw us into the fire sometimes with learning tasks, but I think that's the best way for us to get comfortable and learn them.
What are some of the big tasks that you've done this summer? Anything new?
I've been spraying greens more than and just using the sprayer more, which is challenging because there's so much going on at once. A lot of buttons, a lot to pay attention to. So I think that they're starting to trust all of us interns, especially with like the hot weather we've had this summer, just going out and checking greens and knowing if the green's taking water or if it's not taking water and what we should do if it's not. Slowly throughout the summer you can see that they have a little bit more trust in us to know, and they have us go out and do those things ourselves and learn through the process.
I like cutting cups, mowing greens. I like just the daily setup part of it in the morning, just watching the sunrise and everything. Just nice cool mornings.
it just feels very satisfying to me to do the work we do out here, and we really make the course look good, and that makes me feel like I did my job, and it's kind of a really good closure for work, I guess. So.
My name is Aaron Bodette. I work on the Sandbox course, the little par 3 here.
I'm Aurora Amond. I'm the grounds AIT on the Sandbox at Sand Valley.
My name is Gage Jensen, and I am the assistant on the Sandbox. Yeah, so this week my boss is gone for a vacation, so I'm taking over for the week, and actually a pretty fun responsibility to have, to be able to just kind of be the guy in charge.
So the Sandbox is a 17-hole par 3 course.
It's our party have fun course. It's where you go to relax, you get your 8-some, you take your shoes off, you walk around and you have fun.
My favorite aspect would probably be the green undulation. They're a lot different than the other greens on property. For example, hole number 3, you got the 2-tier greens, and it's just very unique.
Personally, it's the best course on the entire property, and I'm a little biased because I work there, but it's the toughest little par 3, and I've heard people go, this is the only par 3 I will ever play again because it's so much of a challenge and it's so much fun.
It is a little tricky. It is, you'd think it'd be easy, but it's a tricky course with some of those greens out there. But what I like about the Sandbox is it's laid back. It's not super serious. It's where you go to just chillax and have a good time with your pals.
How does a typical morning setting up the Sandbox go?
So typical morning, the people that are cutting cups and setting tees usually walk the course together to make sure everything's at the correct yardage.
We will move the hole and pin on every hole, and we will move the tees as well. We kind of stagger the yardage so every hole is playing a little different.
We mow greens most mornings.
Our fairways will mow twice a week.
We got to pick up all the divots, filling divots obviously, and then we do a sweep of ball marks. Bunkers are a big thing. We full rake bunkers every morning. That's about the basic setup.
Really just making the course look good for the day.
The tough part about maintaining the Sandbox is it's smaller than all the other courses, so you would think it's less work, but because it's smaller, it's kind of under a microscope.
A par 3 usually gets dinged on a lot because it's not pristine. It gets more wear and tear.
Most challenging part by far is keeping good grass on tee boxes.
It's a par 3 course, so our tees get obliterated.
There's lots of traffic on the tees, so we try our best to just move it around as best as possible, so that's probably the most challenging part.
We're really on top of our ball marks.
Just because like afternoon play gets so heavy, making sure the greens don't look super dimpled or ruined from the morning or day play, and making sure that everything looks as pristine as possible. We have another crew that comes in and sets up at night.
Clean up the bunkers, clean up greens, fill divots, clean up tee boxes, so fix all the ball marks. We have a group of probably 4 people per night that come back in, and they work from 2 to 7-ish.
That makes my job a lot easier in the mornings, so I very much so appreciate what our team does, and maintaining a team that wants to stay positive about what we do.
When players go out on the Sandbox, what do you hope they experience?
Joy, fun.
I hope that players just have the best time. It's all about fun on the golf course.
Take in the beautiful scenery that we have to offer and all the natives and the difference that we have versus other golf courses around Wisconsin or around the US with our primarily fescue fairways and our bent grass greens. Nobody ever sees what we do, but it's the most integral part of having a golf course. I love it. The people make my job the best thing in the world, and the people make the golf course the best thing in the world. So I have a lot of respect for them getting up at 4 or 5 a.m. to come in and just mow and fill divots and do all of the stuff that people don't see behind the scenes.
So when I first got here, it was just Sandbox, Mammoth, and Sand Valley. It was actually a pretty simple day-to-day maintenance, knew what you were doing. Now, boy, I mean, you have to change the route that you're taking just to get out to the course every day. There's different construction vehicles, different roads being paved.
I mean, it's nonstop. It's kind of mind-boggling how fast stuff's blowing up. But I think ownership is smart in the fact that let's get as much of this done as we can now, and then we can kind of put this thing down and run with what we got.
So the last couple of years have been very different. There's a lot of projects currently ongoing. So we completed the Lido, and that opened this year in the spring for member play, and then also opened to resort play in June. On this side of the road, we're building Sedge Village, which is a part of the development here, and it contains a 37-acre lake, so we're currently working on that. Sand Valley also has tennis, which is not as well known. It's in addition to our golf, and we're rebuilding our tennis center. Also, Sedge Valley Golf Course we're actively constructing right now too, and finishing up grassing, so that's happening as we speak.
I'm Sam Weber. I'm the golf course superintendent at Sedge Valley Golf Course, the newest property at Sand Valley Golf Resort. So right now, Sedge Valley has 12 holes completed. We will be doing the final 6 probably by mid-July. We'll be done with the seeding process. We are a Tom Doak design. Eric Iverson is the design associate. Parker Anderson is the shaper, and we're an atypical par. We're a par 68, rather than chase that par 72 that the normal American golfer looks for. We're just a little bit different. So Sedge Valley is going to be a little bit different than the rest of them, just based on the Mammoth Dunes and the Sand Valley have a lot of exposed sand and waste areas. That's really not a design feature for Sedge. I mean, we do have a lot of bunkers, there are a few waste areas, but a much more kind of rolling hill, parkland style golf course. There's a couple of prominent rock outcroppings which are pretty unique to this area. Those come into play on a couple holes, and really that's just kind of rolling hills and of sedge and sort of the native jack pines and black oaks out there. I think there's a really amazing collection of par 3s out there, just from a shorter 150-yard par 3 to a downhill 240-yard par 3 through the chute. Really just really test the iron play of the golfers that'll be out there. So once the rough shaping is complete and the irrigation has been installed, we begin cleaning the sand. It's pretty much like going to the beach. We're picking sticks out of it, we're picking rocks out of it, and then once the architects give us the okay, we start seeding. Everything on site here is hydro-seeded, so the seed is added to a machine with mulch and water, and we pump it through the machine to seed the course. Supervising a grow-in is definitely, there are aspects of it that are much more relaxed. The other courses here are, starting at 5 in the morning, and they're already out and gone and mowing, and we're rolling in, hour and a half later. The coffee's already cold by the time we get here. It's just a different set of challenges. Rather than worrying about playing conditions and traffic and all of that, we're worried about, fertility and how can we get equipment on these juvenile holes. Sand is, it's the best. It's what we look for for playing conditions but Dry sand is very soft, so as far as this actual seeding process, it's very difficult to move equipment around and without making kind of a big mess. The growing process is going very well. We're very happy with where we're at. We're in the fine-tuning phase, trying to get ready for preview play. We've done 13 greens at Sedge Valley. All of those have been seeded by either assistants or interns. They're drop seeding the green. They're watering the green. They get the first mowing. They're fertilizing it. I mean, it's their baby. They'll be able to say that they did the 4th green at Sedge Valley. That's their green.
I got to seed hole 3's green, which was super cool. And then got to mow it for the first mow that the green ever saw. So that was a really cool experience just to see that work play out. If I remember correctly, it's the biggest green on Sedge Valley, and I think it's the same square footage as the smallest green on Mammoth Dunes, which I thought was kind of funny.
I had just helped with the seeding of the green process a couple weeks ago. I think it was the second to last green they're seeding, so that was really cool to see. I had a lot of fun doing that, watching that happen. Well, I mean, you just see the sand and the slope and everything. You see it slowly turn into what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, so I specifically did the 16th green on Sedge, and it's a pretty quick process. It's just a couple different fertilizers that we used as a pre-plant to help that seed pop a bit more, and then just drop seeders, and then we take a Sand Pro and use the tires on it to dimple it in, kind of get as much seed to soil contact as possible, and you just water the heck out of it afterwards. The green itself doesn't have a whole lot of mess around it. There's a bunker on the right side that you want to avoid, a little slope to the left side, player left. Looking back from that the approach of that green, you get to see the 16th fairway. You get to see a little bit of 4 there. Probably my favorite part of this entire property is that little area back there. It's a good spot.
So last year here, I got a chance to be able to seed this green. We drop seeded, and I helped pre-fertilize and do the whole process of it, like Madge mentioned as well. It's a pretty interesting thing to be able to see exactly all that goes into it. I never expect, the whole process of getting on and dimpling it with the Sand Pro, and it was really cool just to see it grow in. And I mean, now that I'm playing it, you get to see all the slopes and the different little nuances in the green, whereas when you first do it, you don't get to see all the different little intricate slopes and such. But it's cool being out here right now.
Bang, baby! Oh boy! Let's go! I think the biggest takeaway from doing all this construction is that I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if I will ever be on a construction project again, but the fact that I was able to do a grow-in, even though I'm not directly on Sedge or on Lido every single day, I am seeing the progress. I am stopping by, driving through the courses once in a while, being able to help out every so often. And so being able to see the whole process, ask questions, kind of pick their brain as to when they're doing things, why they're doing things, is only gonna help me in my future. I mean, I'm sure 10 years from now, if I'm at a course, might need to construct a new tee, and I feel very confident in being able to do that. Or maybe I'm taking over a course that's struggling and they want to redo a couple of the greens, or they want to renovate like a front 9 or something like that. I feel quite confident that I can do that successfully and be an asset to whichever club or resort or what I go to. Next step will definitely be an actual assistant superintendent, not the pseudo kind of management thing that I'm doing now. I like the role I'm in. I love working for Joe. I like the crew that I'm with. But yeah, my next step will definitely be an assistant and go on from there.
I'd love to be a superintendent someday, particularly probably in the Wisconsin area, but there's a lot of great golf out here, so I think that it should be a lot of options.
I have 20 credits left of college after this summer, and I don't really have anything tying me down in life, and once I'm done with school, I mean, I kind of want to just go out and experience life. And I think, you know, in the golf industry, you get a good opportunity to be able to do that. There's a lot of cool courses all over the world, and my eyes have been opened into the golf world, and I'm excited to be able to just venture out into it.
I'm not sure what my plans for the future are yet, but I mean, I love it up here. This place is awesome. Everyone up here is awesome, so it's a great place to work.
When that sunrise is in its peak, and you know, when the fog rolls through and you're just out in it, and you know, I don't know if I can say this, but the golf pouring with the dew and such, I mean, it's so pretty out there, and you know, to be able to be a part and see that, you know, your hard work come out and it just looks like it does. I mean, when I'm able to sit back and look at, you know, the work we've done, and especially in those mornings, it's freaking amazing out there. So that's probably, any time in the morning, I'd really cherish it and take it in. I don't know, I mean, it's a great community around here. I love being around here, and I'm glad to come to work every day and work with some of the best people I've ever met.
What are the challenges of getting young people involved in turf or just to want to work? And I don't mean that as a bad thing against everybody, but it's very challenging. I think that the work ethic has changed. We have to adapt to what they expect. There's other opportunities. I think that's a big challenge to get somebody to embrace the outdoors. But I think once they get a taste of it and they actually come outside, put the phone down, and really just kind of see it and smell it, feel it and taste it and live it, I think that they're in. They're gonna love it, I think. But it's hard. It's hard to get the word out there and get them into the industry.
I always say, to become a superintendent, you really got to be good at a lot of different things. You know, you need to be good at budgeting. You need to be good at growing grass. You need to be good at knowing the game of golf. You need to be good at knowing equipment. You have to know irrigation. You have to know just a variable amount of things. You have to be good at communication. And you really just need someone to mentor you and show you kind of all those things into something that just takes time to learn. It's just not something you can do in a 6-month tenure at a golf course. Culture is everything. Our jobs are very difficult as golf course superintendents. You know, we have a lot of things. Like I said, this is a fast-moving, growing property, and like the stress and things can really get to you if you don't have fun. And the one thing that I want as part of our culture and our team is I want people to enjoy coming to work every day. When they're pulling up to Sand Valley, I want them to get excited about the day. Obviously, we have to hold everybody accountable, and we have responsibilities we have to do, and those have to get done every day. But I think there's a way that you can do it in a fun way to make it exciting and still not have to, you know, be yelling and screaming at everybody to get the day's tasks accomplished. We want to make the internship fun and exciting, and we want people to enjoy coming to work and really get what they need for their experience and education to help them kind of move their career forward is kind of our goal here.
I mean, I know that a lot of internships are based on you got to go to this big club, it's a big name, and it's going to get you a big job, and I get that. I mean, I know that's part of the industry, but you know, if somebody wants to, you know, take a step out, come to the middle of Wisconsin and manage some grass that you're never really going to manage anywhere else probably unless you go to the UK or Australia, you know, you should come to Sand Valley because we got a hell of a family here.